Hi, I'm Ken Fredenberg, Marketing Director for Gibraltar Hardware. Welcome to Gibraltar's Extreme Hardware Makeover. We're here today at Chad Sexton's Drum City in North Hollywood, California, and we're going to be working with a drummer to rebuild his hardware setup. And you know, we're the hardware guys. We do this. That's what Gibraltar's all about. For over 25 years, we've been building hardware. So what we're going to do is we're going to see what we can do to Gibraltarize his kit and make it functional, but yet have a nice vibe for the way he wants to play. So I think we're going to have some fun today. Let's see where we can take this. We're here with Jagger. Man, welcome.
Thanks.
All right. Hey man, tell me about what you do. What's your drumming style and everything?
Well, I play drums in a band called Opus Die, and it's kind of on the loud, heavy side, but it's pretty melodic still. Yeah.
Tour a lot?
A lot of touring,
Around?
a lot of shows. We're on the road pretty much all the time.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, I can definitely tell your rig's, being used a lot. Man.
yeah, it sees some abuse.
Yeah,
sure.
I think we're going to have some fun today on this one. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about your rack.
Well, I've been playing on this rack for about maybe 2 years now or so, and it's starting to show its wear. I mean, there's like some things that are, some of the clips are breaking on it.
Yeah.
You can probably see from here there's like a bend. This actual whole stand is like starting to bend from the weight.
Yeah. Yeah, you've definitely used it a lot, so I can see you've had to kind of make some modifications on your own. Looks like you got a mixture of parts in there.
Yeah, actually this lower half here is a Gibraltar clips, because the clips that came with it were plastic.
Okay, right.
So you can see I'm still using one of them here, but it actually gave way.
Yeah, I gotcha, right.
And it actually saved me, and I've been able to keep using the rack because of that.
That's cool.
So it's sort of a Frankenstein hybrid kind of rack.
Yeah, looks like you got everything pretty tight right in there, so you've got it right where you want it, but it looks like you've really had to makeshift to get it that way. So I see some challenges here as far as the boom and kind of crimping a little bit, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of dents in it because I really have to tighten down. I actually threw some duct tape in here to help it actually fit, because I don't think the pull really matches the size of the
Right. I imagine with that being a drum key, tightening down, that's kind of a challenge too, as far as always having to crank that.
Yeah, I put like a lot of torque on it to really get it to hold.
Yeah.
There's my share of MacGyver stuff. I have this
nice
thing that I made here to hold my metronome. It's pretty much some industrial strength Velcro mounted on a sheet of metal, mounted on glued down to this cowbell clip.
Perfect.
It's pretty cumbersome to lug around, you know.
Okay.
Like, so someone will grab one on this side. Yeah. Someone will grab it on that side, and the rack ends up twisting like this, and then everything's kind of off. And
we can take care of that. There's a thing called memory locks that we live by at Gibraltar, and I think that'll make your life a lot easier. That's kind of why we're working together.
Awesome.
So right over here, I see you've got a little splash set up right in front of your toms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that looks clean.
Again, it's kind of a MacGyver thing.
Yeah.
This is actually a piece right here is from a broken boom stand, and it's just kind of wedged into this clip.
Right.
But it works,
It's functional. Well, I think we got some options there that might kind of make that not just functional, but actually give you a little bit of vibe on there. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
Let's kind of head over here. I see some interesting stuff going on here with some
this is
duct
the
tape.
most
And what is
recent
that?
modification. We played a show the other day, and this actually came loose from the stand. So I didn't have a lot of time, but the venue had butter knives, so you can see I sort of made a splint.
I knew there had to be a story behind that.
Yeah.
All right.
I got some butter knives from the bar, and I made kind of a splint with some gaff tape to hold it into place to get through the show. And I played on a couple of shows like that, but you can see it's not really the best solution, but in a pinch.
Hey, it's whatever works, man, right?
So.
All right, then over here we've got a station. I see you have a hanging floor tom and ride in China, so it looks like that's a pretty easy station.
Yeah, so it's pretty much my main hardware is the rack with a side stand and the snare stand. Really.
All right, so everything has to be in place, but probably the other things that we got to keep in mind today is a little bit of image. Want to kind of vibe you out a little bit?
I mean, I try to keep some open space for performing, and really like I prefer to play as low as I can.
Okay.
So my toms are pretty much as low as they could possibly go, and a lot of my cymbals are all on the same plane, with the exception of these two in front.
Right.
And I put those a little higher than maybe I would play at most comfortable. level, but mainly for when we play shows.
Yeah, man.
To keep that kind of framing window device. And
that's it.
I try to keep everything symmetrical. I got the 2 crashes on this side and then the 2 up here.
All right.
And keep them kind of even.
So see the function. We'll see that we want to kind of keep the symmetrical look to it, kind of vibe you out a little bit, and then make it tour worthy, right? It's probably the big priorities
the durability
we got to do,
is a huge factor. So.
All right, man. I think we got you covered. So I think now what I'm going to do is bring in my experts, the Gibraltar men, and see what we can do to make it over.
Awesome.
I think this will be great. All right, I'm going to have you go get a cup of coffee. Okay. We're going to go get started, all right?